Pula Nwaya and welcome here. This is Maper coming to you live on a New Year's Eve evening here in Fairbanks, Alaska. It is 8:43 p.m. For many of you, you're already on a new year 2026. We have still maybe 3 hours, 3 hours and 20 minutes till midnight and till the 2026 to welcome 2026. Some places here in the US, we just watched the Times Square welcome the 2026 in New York, and different parts of the world. But I just want to do this go live. It is like New Year's Eve, and for many, you could be celebrating right now. You could be spending time with family. Whatever you're doing right now, I hope that you're staying safe and just enjoying the moment of welcoming a new year. And so, as we stand at the edge of a brand new year, I just want to pause tonight, not to rush, into resolutions, not to pretend everything was perfect, but to truly reflect with gratitude. And I believe that, times like this, um, we try to, just look back at how the year has, how the year went. And as for me, I want to share here that, it was not a perfect year, but, this year really stretched many of us. And as for me, it challenged us, it matured us. And but it also grew us. And why I say us is, my wonderful husband and I, in our journey, in life. And but it also, like I said, it also grew us and it strengthened us. Not only did we face challenges, not only um, did it stretch us, but it also grew us, and it reminded us that even when life doesn't look perfect, God is still faithful. And that is one thing that I wanted to share today, because many, may look back at the year, and maybe it wasn't a great year. Maybe it was a challenging one. Maybe, there's so many things has happened. Um, but, if you're listening tonight, I really want you to take a breath and simply say, I made it through this year. That alone is a testimony. If you're watching this and you're catching the replay, tell yourself that I made it through this year. That alone is a testimony, because no matter what we went through, we made it. And 2026 is just around the corner for us here who haven't welcomed the 2026. But just looking back, I recall that has been so faithful in my journey. And I'd like to share here, from Jeremiah 29:11. And I did put it in my post today. For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. And that is one of the favorite Bible verses that has really kept me grounded, has really reminded me always that no matter what my plan is, God has a better plan for me, and it could be so much more than what I planned for myself or what you planned for yourself. It could be something totally different, a different journey altogether. And that is why I am so thankful. And this Bible verse always keeps me grounded, and it reminds me that when things don't go out the way I planned, it's okay, because God's plans are way, way higher than mine. And even when things didn't make sense at all, sometimes, you just can't comprehend like why it's happening to me, or how is this? I've done all the right things. I've done everything that I know uh, I'm doing right, but why are things happening the way it does? And like that is what I mean by it doesn't make sense at all. But when you trust that God is in control of everything and your plans, then you're just at peace. And so, even when we didn't have all the answers, um, God was working, guiding, shaping, and really preparing us. And the beautiful truth is, He is not done with your story yet. He is not done with mine. He is not done with yours. There's so much to learn. There's so much to do. There's so much to give. There's so much to gain. And so, I like to use this time as like a reflection moment, um, that, I want you to really think about this tonight, um, because many may have different plans for the year 2026, or many do not have plans yet. Still celebrating the end of the year, the beginning of a new year. And that celebration may not last at all. I'm sorry, that celebration will only last for a short time. But what I want to share here is that what do you not want to carry into the next season or the next year? This is something that every year I like to reflect on. And this year, especially after, in this business journey, in my life, and in my faith and my walk with God, I have already have things that we want to uh, set our goals and raise it up to another level. And so, what could it be like? Going back to the question, what do you not want to carry into the next season or the new year? Is it fear? Is it exhaustion? Is it like limiting beliefs, settling, and he and the other question I like to ask here is, what do you want more of? So there are things that you need to let go. There are things that I'm sure we all have, things in our lives that we need to let go. And the next question here is, what do you want more of? And it could be yours, could be different from mine, but here are the things that I think about, and I want to, ask here: is it peace? Is it time? Is it health? Is it joy? Um, is it freedom? Financial, financial breathing room, or is it purpose? Like I said, now not many people have already have plans for the new year, but these are the things that I'm just throwing out there. What could it be that you want more of? And the other one is, what possibility are you finally ready to explore? um, Having to go through a year, as for me in my business journey in life, there's so much I want to grow in. There's so much more I want to learn. There's so much more that I want to expand in my skills, in my knowledge, and so much more that I want to give. As I learn, I want to share and give. And and so, what are those possibilities that you finally are ready to explore? So, I'm just, curious, because, your next chapter is still unwritten. Tell yourself your next chapter is still unwritten. This is not it. There's so much more in life. There's so much more to take those take that leap of faith, and be bold and be intentional and with purpose. Um, and here's the thing. Because this is my digital business is part of my this Go Live has been part of my business. And so, I want to share that I'm grateful tonight, not just for what I do, not just for what we do, but for what it represents, truly, for the things that it represents. And those are options, hope, and community, and also impact. It is truly, I hope that throughout the year, my Go Lives have really impacted many of you that have been watching. I hope that it is something that has added value into your journey. And that is the whole purpose about it. Having to share my story that many could resonate with, or if it is something new that you are learning, I hope that it has really helped you in your journey. And that is what I mean by impact, and community, because in in this business community, I have learned to really connect with people that are like-minded, positive energy, positive mindset, growth mindset that has really helped me realize that there's so much to learn and grow in. And so I get to walk alongside incredible people who realize they don't have to stay stuck, in how things have always been. Sometimes the same cycle that we go through in life, and we tend to think that this is it. This is how life should be. Whether it be um, a challenging one, many a times, um, we we just only look at what we experience every day, and it's been a cycle, and it has become a norm, and it has been accepted. But truly, there is so much more to that. If you are stuck where you are in the cycle of doing the same things, facing the same challenges, and not being able to come out of it, just remember that you don't have to stay stuck in how things have always been. The same old things. There's a saying when you ask, how are things going? Oh, it's the same old, same old. But that can change. That can change. And this isn't just uh, business for me. It's purpose, and it's the people, and it's families dreaming again. And that's the amazing thing. It's faith in action. And it's truly a reminder um, that change is possible when courage meets opportunity. That truly change is possible when courage meets opportunity. And so, um, as we step into this new year, um, or if you're already in the new year, celebrating the new year, wherever you're at, if you happen to listen here, just walk with faith, walk with courage, and walk with purpose. Always have a purpose in your journey, in your life, with intention, and keep your heart open to new possibilities. That is, something that I have learned, that you need to stay open to possibilities, to change that will only help you grow. And if this year felt heavy, I'm believing next year will feel lighter. That is what I truly believe, and claim it. Because when you talk positive, when you think positive and you talk um, positive things to yourself and tell yourself that you can do it, instead of the I don't, but tell yourself, I don't know yet, but I can do it. Like, I will get there eventually. And if this year felt confusing, there's so much going on. Sometimes the the things that we see in social media, the things that we read about, it can be confusing. Sometimes a simple information that you read can be confusing because of the way it has been shared. And so, I'm believing that if this year has felt confusing, in whatever journey you're in, where maybe you are not certain about what you want to do next, I'm believing clarity is coming. If this year stretched you, I'm believing breakthrough is near. And God is still writing. I always like to think that God is still working. He is still writing our story. He is still um, leading us and molding us to where He wants us to be, what He wants us to do, and what He wants us to become. And I hope that you also have plans of what you want to become, where you at, and where you want to be. And so hope is still alive. Your story is still unfolding. So here's something that I want to say, just something intentional for year 2026. Um, so friends and family and whoever's listening here, after all the celebration, fireworks, countdowns, and joy, it really comes down to this. What are your plans for 2026? After having to say all that, what are your plans for 2026? Because transformation doesn't just happen because our calendar changed, because, we are now in a new year. Transformation doesn't just happen because of that. Breakthrough doesn't come simply because we hope for it. It comes when we become intentional, prayerful, disciplined, and willing to step into purpose. I truly believe in that, because things will not happen, change will not come if you don't take action, if you don't take that step, if you don't make that move. And this year doesn't have to look like last year. 2026 doesn't have to look like last year, because it has to be better than last year. And so, but that only happens when you decide what you're leaving behind, what you're reaching, what you're reaching forward to, um, and what you courageously saying, and what you are courageously saying yes to 2026 is not just another year to survive. Whatever you're saying yes to this 2026 is something that will help you not just to survive, but to thrive. And so it's a year to build with clarity. I'm hopeful, um, I just can't wait. I just can't wait for what this year will bring in my life journey, and especially in my business journey, because there's goals that I have raised a little bit higher for myself, my wonderful husband, and I in our business journey, in life, and most especially in our spiritual walk. And so, to choose purpose over pressure, I truly believe that we need to choose purpose over pressure, because um, when we feel pressured, our decisions that we make may not be the right ones. Um, we feel obliged to do a lot of things, but you need to have that purpose instead of pressure. And also to choose faith over fear, to choose direction over drifting. And so I want you to ask yourself, okay, um, what do I truly want 2026 to look like? What will I do differently this time? And what intentional steps I know I'm willing to take towards the life I'm praying for. So here's the thing. These are simple questions, but I believe, if these are simple questions, but if you know what you want, um, and you know where you want, what you want to do differently this time, and what intentional steps that you're willing to take forward, then you already are set for the year 2026. And so, just to close my go live tonight, it's 9:02, and I want to say once again, as we step into this new year, may we walk in faith, courage, purpose, and intentionality. God has more for you, but you also have a part to play in stewarding that future well. Um, I'm not perfect, but I believe that I can be purposeful, that I can be intentional, and that 2026 has so much more for me to gain, so much more for me to give, and so much more for me to share my story, as well as inspire those of you who have been following me, and also new ones that will join this journey. And so, your next step is still unwritten. So tell yourself your next step is still unwritten. And here's the thing: and with God, wisdom, and intentional choices, it can be absolutely beautiful. So that ends my goal life for today. Last day, a few hours of to enjoy the rest of the 2025, and looking forward to a powerful, purposeful, and intentional year of 2026. And I thank you for being here. I hope that this has helped you and encouraged you. And let this be a message for you for year 2026. Vinaka, Poyexia, and God bless, and Happy New Year to all of you. Have a blessed one. Vinaka, and God bless.